Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Sheila with Sweetie's Creations and Decor, and today I'm doing crafting with metal and lace collaboration with Leah from Make All the Things With Me and Lori from Farmhouse Stencil Shop. And it's a DIY. So I'm going to be doing two crafts in a short time. We're going to go ahead and start out with this metal tray. And this was just a metal tray that I decided, well, I would make it look a little bit more shabby chic vintage. I'd had it for a little while. Let's give it an update. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I did first, and that is I used some undercover primer by Paint Pixie. This gave it a good coating to cover the metal so that when you put your paint on, you don't use as much, plus it gives it a better adhesion. So I used this first, dried that up. Now I'm going to use the Magical Chalk Paint in Cream Puff. Go ahead and paint that. And I can always tip you down as well if you can't see, but I think we'll just start like this so that you can see that part. And I've gone ahead and put it out on my palette here, and we're just going to get a good brush. These brushes are also from Paint Pixie. I love these brushes. And we're just going to give it a good coat. And hopefully we just have to do one coat or paint over them, doing all the good things that can make it a little bit more fun. Now you also I could have painted this in a white and done it with black enamel on the side, and that would be another great look. Dry that up, and we might end up needing another coat, but I do want it to be coated well. So we're going to dry. Let's work on the inside now. So this did have Thankful, a little verse in it, and so a little writing. So I went ahead and painted over that with the primer, and now I'm going to add my paint because I just wanted it to be plain with paint. And I'm going to use another color paint, which is called Glazed Donut. And this is kind of a more of a camel color, but that's what we're going to use to do this, and maybe just a little touch of brown for a little bit darker. So I'm going to put this color out. Glazed Donut, I'm taking a little bit of chocolate souffle. I'm just going to put it to the side and just mix in a little bit at a time and kind of get a little bit of brown, but I don't want a whole lot. Like a malt chocolate sort of color, and I'm going to see if I like that for my color. Just mix a little bit at a time when you're mixing paints and kind of get a color you really, really like. So my tool, and okay, now I'm going to take my tool and I'm just going to dip it in my paint. Now you don't want a lot on there, so you can kind of take some off. You can always add more. So now you're going to take this. I see a little wet place right there. I'll try not to touch that. I'm going to start on my sides. So you're just going to scrape your tool right here on the sides. You see I've still got some in it, so I'm not putting more. And that's how I'm going to start my sides, just like that. Just like that. Okay, and we'll go on around. The paint you have on here, as long as you have it. You can do the same thing on your handles. So you can take your handle and you can rub it against your handle as well. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to turn it over and do some more on our handles. So I'm just putting just a little bit of paint, not all the way across my tool. I'm just putting it that much, just a little bit, just like you would be doing a spatula. That's all you're doing. So if you think you've got too much, just take a little off, and then you're just going to just put it just like you're scraping something right across it, just like that. You see how our handle's looking now? And let's put a little bit more in places. Can you see the handle? Let's just have a little bit. You're going to kind of scrape across just like this. See how I'm not getting more paint? I'm using what's in my brush. Now you know that people scrape off to get this. This is a lot easier, and you're not getting that paint all over the place. You're just using just a little bit now. Make sure that you just do it light. You can always add more. I'm going to milk chocolate. All right, we're going to turn it this direction. See how it's looking? Okay, very shabby chic. Now, we can also do our sides the same way. So you're going to do your sides the same way. I'm going to try to put it where you can see. I'm going to get a little bit more paint. Now remember, I mix this paint together. So if you run out of paint, you got to mix it again. But you just keep doing it till you get it the color that you had. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Do y'all like that? Isn't that pretty? You're going to do that to all your sides. So you're going to do it to the whole thing, right inside this area as well. I got a little bit less this time, so you just press down, get you a little bit more. I was trying not to have too much. I may have taken too much off. That's okay, because you can go back. And that's all you're doing is just chipping your paint. You do it all the way around. You want to do the same thing to your sides. So we're going to do the same thing over here to our sides. We're going to, okay. And then we're going to take and we're going to do the same thing over here. A little bit more paint. See how the sides look? So if you just want a little bit, do a little bit. If you want more, then add more paint to your project. I'm just putting a little bit up here as well. And I'll also do it to the bottom. Even though you won't really see the bottom, I'll go ahead and finish it out and put a little bit here on the sides. And I will do the bottom as well. So that is our look that we're going for. Is more of a shabby chic look. So I do mine with a tool. That seems to work the best. And then you have that shabby look. Let's put our mold on our tray. And I'm just going to put one side on. And then I will add the other side. So I've gone ahead and painted it up in our same color that we used, cream puff. Then I took my little tool. I had a little of the paint left, and I didn't want it to dry all up before I used it. And then I just went across it just like this and just highlighted it like a dry brush and made it match. So we're going to use two of those on here. I'm going to go ahead and put just this one on. I'm letting that other one dry just a little bit. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of our Type Bond glue. That's what you should use for your molds. So I'm going to just put a little glue right there so I'll know that's where I'm going to start. I'm just going to put some glue on the back and I will show you what I'm doing. I'm going to put a little bit of the Type Bond glue on the back and just rub it in with your fingers. Not going to hurt. It'll wash straight off. Okay, you want some good glue and you want some glue that's going to do quickly. All right, and then we're going to add just a touch of hot glue on the ends just to hold it right now. This is just not a permanent hold, just a fix for right now. We'll just put just a little bit, I got the bottom all done. We're going to take this and let's make sure we get our roses the correct direction. You want them just like this. And I'm going to start this side, y'all, because I do want them up that direction. So I'm going to put it on this side right here. I know it's upside down to you. I'm going to turn it around. And we're just going to press our mold on. And then I'm going to take the other one and butt it up right against this one. And won't that be beautiful on there? Still be blended in as our tray. And I'll be back to do a second video on our second project. Okay, we're ready for project number 2 with our metal and lace collaboration. And today I'm working with Leah from Make All Things With Me and Lori from the Farmhouse Stencil Shop. And we'll have a collaboration. We'll have a collaboration list that you can follow and see all the creators that are in this event. Little box here. I went ahead and painted it up in the Cream Puff by Paint Pixie. and we're going to put a piece of beautiful print on here from Digital Deco Designs and do some decoupage, and then I'm going to put some lace on there and a little knob on top. Went ahead and painted it, so you don't have to see me paint. You're just going to paint your box up just like that. And then I've got a little piece we'll put on the top, and I'll tell you all the colors that I used. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and get that ready. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit more paint with my palette knife. Now this is a way that you can do chippy. Instead of doing your layers and chipping it off with a tool, you can just take a little paint. I have mixed the Candy Apple Red and Paint Pixie, a little bit of the Crimson Tide, which is a shimmery color. That's metallic. And then I took just a touch of the chocolate souffle to make it look a little bit more burgundy, because you'll see that this print has a little bit of burgundy florals. So I've got that mixed up, and I painted a piece with that. Now I'm just going to take a little bit on my palette knife. You want to take a little bit off. You don't want a ton on there. You just want a little bit. And this is a way that you can do your chippy look without having to scrape it off. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the sides. Now you want to start with a little bit. If you don't have enough, you can add more, but you just want to just do it a little bit. And I'll try to keep this where you can see it. Look that you need for your farmhouse, chippy, cottage, shabby chic, any of those. And you're doing it with paint. So let's put a little bit more here on the sides. Got that all done. You can use the browns, blacks, any color that you want. I just decided that I would use just a little bit of this burgundy because I love the way it looks. That you want. There you have a cute look on your box. Okay, so I'm going to put my tool to the side, and I've got a little piece painted up that we're going to put on the top here, and I'm going to go ahead and plan on putting this on. So I'm going to go ahead and take my dryer and dry that up. Now I'm going to take a little bit of force field, and this is my decoupage medium. I'm just going to put a little bit of that from Paint Pixie. I don't want that to come through my print, so I'm going to give it a little bit of quick dry before I put that on with the iron. So we got that dry. Let's put our print. We're going to put it a little bit low because we're going to put something up here. And our iron. And I've had my iron on. You're going to start in the middle and kind of push out to the side, and that's going to give you a good layer. Isn't that beautiful? This is from Digital Deco Designs, and so I love the size. Looks good on here. Now let's take our little piece here, and this is a piece of Pixie Doh, and it's flexible when it dries, and you can move it and push it wherever you want to on your piece. So I'm going to put that on with a little bit of glue. I'm going to put some Titebond, and this is the quick and thick Titebond of hot glue. You don't want a lot of hot glue. You want it to be very light. This is just going to hold it for right now till it can set up. I'm going to put that right there on. You see how it flexes? I'm going to put it right here on top. And this is from a mold. I believe it's redesigned by Prima Mold. Now let's go ahead and put some jewels on here. So I have Totally Dazzled, and these are some with the red stones. I thought this would be so pretty with this print. And then I want to do something to my sides here. So let's try that. Let's put some rhinestones on if you wanted to, if you want to make it a little bit more fancy. I'm going to put my B7000. You want to allow a little bit of space. Do not mix your glues because I'm leaving some spots for a little bit of hot glue. The hot glue is going to give it a hold right now. Your B7000 is going to hold it permanently. So I'm just going to put this right down here at the bottom. I think this burgundy is going to be gorgeous on there. So pretty. That stone looks good. So we've got that on there. Now we've got this other stone. I love this look. as well. A little bit of bling. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on that one as well. Just right in here. And I'm going to try to keep it where it doesn't get on our fingers. I think that's going to be pretty. Take my Allen's clear tacky glue. You can use tacky glue, you can use the 3-in-1. I believe the Allen's is a little bit less expensive. You just want to start somewhere with your lace. I'm going to start right down here on the bottom. And I am just putting that on lightly because you don't need a big thick amount. I'm just going to start with one end of our lace and just put just a little bit right in there to give that a hold. Match it up. And you can't even hardly tell where that matches. And then it's going to be able to sit. So that's there. We'll move that out of our way. Right through here. And I got this at Hobby Lobby, and then I just drilled a hole in the top of this. You're just going to take it, and then you're going to put your little washer on the bottom because you've already got one on the top, so you need your little washer on the bottom, your screw that comes with it, and you're just going to screw that on to hold it tight. And I'm going to tighten that up with my little tool. And then here, on this piece here, the little rose, I'm going to use the statuary. It kind of blends in with our top here. And this is also a metallic paint from Paint Pixie. And I'm just going to squirt just a tad. And then I'm going to use it like a rubbing type on my finger, and I'm just going to go around and put it on these roses just like that, just to give them a look. How gorgeous. How quick was that? Quick little sweet project. For being with me. Be blessed, and be sure and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.